Hey people, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be sharing a few things I wish I knew or I regret not knowing before moving to the US. So this is not a shade at US or Nigeria or any other country. It's just my personal opinions and things that I wish that I wish I knew this. Like, I wish I was much more prepared for this. Okay, so let me give you a background of me. So I was born and raised in Nigeria. I'm from the southeastern part of Nigeria, Imo State to be precise. And so I had spent like almost 24 years of my life in Nigeria. So it was kind of like a hard transition for me because I've always been that person that would always say I would never ever move to America. Like, I would never ever live abroad. That's always what I thought. I mean, I wanted to like do, okay, maybe not move abroad is the thing. Maybe it was like more like I would always like travel for work, come back to Nigeria. Like, I always believe that home is home, no matter how terrible or bad the conditions back home in Nigeria is. Like, home is home. I moved to the US for love. So I got engaged. And so I had to move. And it was hard. It was a huge culture shock for me because a lot of things in US are different from the things here in Nigeria. So it was kind of like a hard transition for me to make because there's sort of like culture shock. People don't really talk about it, like the shock you get when you move to the US. Like, everybody makes it look like it's rosy, it's beautiful. Once you move there, you'll figure out your life. Everything's gonna be very perfect and fine. So I'm going to give you a few top things that I wish I knew before I moved. Like, I was well equipped and prepared for. Loneliness. Loneliness is one thing. If you are a family-oriented kind of person. So I grew up in a large family. We all are very close to each other, and we always like, there's always something to celebrate. There's always a party somewhere. Like, there's always like in my family, everybody wants to have a party. Like, everything is a party pretty much. Okay, so moving to the US, it's kind of like, it was hard for me, right? I mean, I have family here in the US. Let me not like give you a bad impression. So I have family here in the US, and when we get together, it's always a ball. But it's that point of like, before, like when I see pictures, it feels like, oh, they're having parties like every time. But the truth is, people here are spread out in the US. Like, I live east, nothing's apart, right? And it will take me like, say, 7 hours or 5 hours or even 1 hour to see someone, like a family member. And it's not realistic, based on people's work schedules and stuff. So it's hard to see people. I mean, technology keeps us close to each other, but there's that element of you want to see your person, And also with raising kids, it hit me hard. Like, before I started having kids, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, we get to see what we get to see. But when you start having a family, you really know that you really need your family members around. Like, childcare, it's not a joke in America. So those are things I wish I knew, like, so preparing yourself for that shock of now I'm on my own, I gotta do this on my own. Like, childcare, loneliness will kill you. Like, it's hard. Like, people say it's, I mean, there's already an option of, when you go to church you meet people, when you go out you meet people, you do from networking events. But I still think it's a little bit harder to make friends when you're a lot older. I mean, when you're like in college or like in secondary school, who's like high school, it's easier to make friends then. But when you get to another stage, it's kind of like, I mean, it's hard. It's harder to make friends. And I'm not saying you can't make friends, but I'm just saying it's harder to make friends at that stage, So that's one thing I wish I knew. Opinions. So that's one thing. Opinions. In America, I kind of feel like people ask for your opinions. Okay, let me say opinions and being politically correct. So, as a Nigerian, we're very loud people. Like, we talk and we are loud, right? Here in America, people are kind of like, you know, they shush when they talk, like they shush when they talk. You know, when, like, I've noticed, like, some people will ask you for your opinion on something. Most times I don't think they're really asking for your opinion. I think they just want you to validate them. You know, like maybe someone will say, how does this look? I mean, you're not supposed to start saying it looks terrible, it looks this, that. There's some things that you don't just like voice out in public, like kind of like have to like reduce your voice and stuff. Like when I used to visit America, when I was coming to like visit America, like I was like, it's cool, it's a cool place. Like being a foreigner and visiting is different from living and being there every day. You know what I mean? Because it's more like you are now part of the people. You now understand how people feel about certain things that you say, and you know your opinions. They're gonna say the person the next day or something. You know, so then you start choosing your words. Like there are things you don't just say in public. Like I remember once at work, some guy gave me crackers. It's what crackers called? The matzos. I think it's called the matzos or so. Like those. So I was trying to tell some guy like, do you don't have crackers? And so I said, you don't have crackers. He was like, I'm not really a crackers kind of person, but a guy like likes kosher. So I said it's kind of like this kind of like Jewish crackers, and the guy got offended. So the guy told me shh, because the guy is also African like me. So he was like, shh, don't say that in public. Like, you know what Jewish cracker means? And I was like, I don't even know what Jewish cracker means. I'm just trying to explain that it's like kosher, like Jewish. So it's like, you know, that things like you just like, you really have to like choose your words. Like, don't go and say something that will laugh attack you in public. You know, like don't go and say something that will just bring you out like that, and they'll be like, she's this, she's like, they'll label you something. Nah, when you're just trying to like explain, but in a good light too. I like that people here are kind of like, I would also say Americans are blunt too. They're blunt and they're approachable. So I've been to a lot of other countries in Europe, and I don't think, I mean, an American can see and be like, oh nice, I like your hair, I like this, I like your makeup, I like your shoes or something. Like, you know, they're kind of like really like approachable. They can approach you, say whatever they want to say something nice, say hi. Like if you're moving and you just see someone and look at the person will be like, hey, what's up, how you doing? You know, like the person will like be nice. But I don't think I experienced that ever in Europe. Like I think in Europe it's people just move on their own. Like, okay, I'm not throwing shit at Europeans, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like Americans are more approachable. And which leads me to the other point of people mind their business in America. Like they mind their business, but also they mind their business here. So you live in your house, you live in your house. You don't know what a neighbor is doing. Coming from Nigeria, coming from Nigeria, I mean, you generally know your neighbors. You know what the neighbors do. You just with your neighbors. You go to your neighbor's house. Here, there's no time to even go to your neighbor's house. For what? Most times you don't even know your neighbors. Maybe you don't even know their names. Maybe you just know that there's a family that lives here. You see them, you be like, hi, what's up, hey, you know. Depending on where you live though. There's some places where you live, you know pretty much like people there, know their names and all that. But it depends, I mean, it depends on the racial mix of where you stay. Some places, people don't really care. Like, everybody minds what they do. Okay, so, I mean, in Nigeria, we're kind of like, maybe we used to mind people's business too much, like minding their business. So, kind of like contradicts what I'm trying to say. So, when I say they mind their business, businesses, in Nigeria, we shall carry people's matter in our head. Everybody and their mama knows their business in Nigeria. Here, people don't really care. about what you're doing unless you ask them for opinion. Okay, I mean, they're open people, but they mind their business. Does that make sense? So when I say they are open-minded people, so you can see an American, like I can remember when I was pregnant with my son, and an American will see you, they would say, hey, is that your first? You know, they can ask you, when are you due? Like, they don't say anything asking people, when are you due? You know, is it a boy or a girl you're having? Can I feel your belly? You know, they'll tell you good luck, something like that. As opposed to like in Nigeria, sure, people can cover up their information, no? You know, so I don't see people really sharing their due dates in Nigeria, or even posting their ultrasound pictures. For what now? You know, so when I say that they're a little bit more open-minded in that aspect. But when I say they don't really care, like, okay, not like they don't care, but they mind their business in the sense that if you don't bring it up, they don't talk about it. Like, you stay in your house, you stay in your house. Nobody's gonna come and start asking you, who are you, where do you work, what do you do? Hey, Nigeria, everybody knows everybody and their mama and their business. You know, when you move into a neighborhood, people will come and neighbors really visit you unless you're cool with your neighbor like that. And I don't mean like you're quarreling or anything, it's just that the person lives in their house. That's it. Americans are very positive people. So moving here, like, there's nothing I have ever told an American that they would not be like, you got this. They're very optimistic, you know. Their optimism, I love their optimism, you know. It's like, you got this. Every time, there's nothing that they can't tell you cannot do. Everything is doable in America. So, when you're trying to move to America, be sure it's really what you want. It took me over 3 years to unpack my bag in America. Like, I kept living in my illusion, like in a world of, like, I had my second daughter before I unpacked my bag in America. Like, it took me that long to say I now call here home. I mean, I also have home back home. My heart is home, but here is also home for me. I mean, I've had my first child, I've had my second child, now I've had my third child. Like, sorry, come on, when will here be home for you? So it took me 3 years after I had my second daughter, was when, I mean, just right before I had her was when I was just telling myself, you know what, here is home. My mom will come and she will go. My brothers will come and they would leave. And then it started dawning on me that this is really home for me. So when you're coming to America, be sure it's really what you want. As someone that loves family and puts family first, just know that you also want to bring those differences with you to America. You also want your child to be able to embrace their culture. You also want your child to be able to embrace the language. Things like that. It might be tough for you, but you always have to find a way to kind of like marry and mix those together. So some of the fun things about America is that the food portions are great. Great food portions. So, you know, every food is like this size, large size, you know. So, and something fun about America is everything has a name. So I remember when I came here and I'm like, I want pizza. In Nigeria then, I think it was just pepperoni, and I don't think we had a lot of options, maybe like 4 or 5. Here, so if you bring that list of pizza is like, do you want cheese? They will now say, do you want this cheese, that cheese, that? Ah, Jesus. I'm like, now wow. You don't just say, I want cheese. You have to say, American cheese, this, that, feta. So like everything in America has a name. You know, beans. What are you? No, the beans I know is it the brown beans or the white beans? Is it Acadia? Is it Fiofio? In America, is it kidney beans? Is it pink beans? Is it black beans? Is it black eyed peas? Is it pinto? Beans has levels, so even beans. Like everything has a name, you know. So sometimes, like, it's also a learning curve for me, like also trying to learn what things are called, how to call them properly, You know, like I remember once I was in a hotel and I kept telling the lady, can you get me can I want to get extra face towels. And she kept telling me, no, I don't understand it. Jesus, like I kept saying, can I get extra face towels please? Then my husband was like, what? She means washcloths. Then I was like, oh, washcloths, like, oh wow. So it's kind of like learning experience. It's beautiful. So these are some of the tips and things that, you know, coming to America will teach you, you know, that you pay tax. So when you go to so tax is something you have to know about in America. Like when you go to a shop, that you have to, if they say something is $2.99, you pay tax. You know, some states don't have tax, some states do have tax. You know, some places food is not taxed. So if I go to a store and I buy food items, it's exactly what it is. But some places when you buy food item, you still pay tax. Like it's just, you know, it's 6%, it's 8%. You know, you have to pay tip. You don't have to. Those are new things that you learn when you come to America. However, with all this that has been said, I still love being in America. I mean, the quality of life is better here. There's more opportunities, truly. You can find yourself, sort of, let me say, find yourself. I also think that even in that lonely period, it's sort of like you do some kind of like soul searching and think about yourself in a way, or think about life in a way you have never thought about before. You know, it opened up, it made me start reading more, you know, trying to understand other people, you know, trying to be present, you know. So however, so these are things that I've learned being in America. However, before you move to America, try and do your homework before you come, so that you don't get kind of like a huge shock when you move. So these are some of the tips, and in my next video I'll be sharing how to make a career transition as a married person moving to America. Thank you so much guys for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.